Hi all, Michelle Visser here on the Solely Rested channel. Glad you could join me for talking about second ferment kombucha. There are some yummy flavors on my counter this morning. I made these a few days ago and I thought, I've got to show you them. They're just gorgeous. In fact, this morning when I woke up, my bedroom is back on the other end and the kitchen is here. I came out of my room and the window is right in front of me as I come out in the morning. And I had my kombucha all lined up with the morning sun streaming through it. It was more gorgeous than stainless glass. I kid you not. It makes me so happy when I wake up to these beautiful choices of what I want to drink in the morning that is extra healthy and good for my gut and so delicious. So I just want to tell the world. So I love talking about kombucha. So I thought today I will just show you literally what I have bottled here and tell you how I made it. My absolute favorite, especially this time of year, is a kombucha with lilac flavoring. I make lilac syrup. This is just one of my bottles I've been using to make kombucha every week. I'm running short. I only have a couple of these little guys left, and my lilacs, thank goodness, are almost in bloom here in New England. So I will be making a bunch more of this to get me through another year of my kombucha making. And I'll share a link in the description of the video to how you make lilac syrup. It's so easy and so delicious and so wonderful in kombucha. Look at this. The lighting isn't great this morning. It's a very dreary day, so this isn't showing up as beautiful as I would like it to. It's just effervescent and bright. And I love it that the lilac syrup separates this way. And I always hate to shake it before I take my first drink of it because it's just so gorgeous. What you see floating in there are the blueberries. This is lilac blueberry. Now I'll tell you the base for the first four that I'm going to share with you. I use the same base. I have a continuous brew fermenter. It's a 4-gallon one. I actually only dispersed 2 gallons with this time, which is great about continuous brew. You can choose how much you want to make each time. The doggies are playing. They just don't understand when I tell them certain things they need to do when I'm on a live. They're stealing my show. So for the continuous brew for these batches, I used, 2 tablespoons of rooibos. Let me show you my rooibos tea. Hope I don't have a spoon here. I order this online. I'll put a link actually to where I get this. I really priced around to get the best price. Do I have a spoon in here? I don't. Rooibos is this really pretty red tea. You're not going to be able to see. There we go. Maybe you can. That grows in only one place of the world, South Africa. And it's a delicious tea. I really, really like it for kombucha because it helps avoid the problem that a lot of people don't like about kombucha is if you don't regulate it just right, it can get vinegary on you and taste like you're drinking vinegar. There's a lot of tips in Simple DIY Kombucha, which is like my mini crash course all about how to make kombucha. That'll help you avoid that. But rooibos just gets rid of any tiny hint of vinegar that you might have because it's such a sweet tea. So I use 2 tablespoons of that and a tablespoon of, did I use 2 tablespoons? Half a tablespoon of white tea and half a tablespoon of green tea. So that combination is just right for making 3 gallons of kombucha. So that's what I use for my first ferment. You can use so many different things. You are not limited. You do have to be careful to use the right teas. So that's another reason I highly recommend you get a copy of Simple DIY Kombucha because that really breaks down the do's and don'ts of that first ferment because you can easily kill your SCOBY if you're not using the right kind of teas. You also, by the way, can get teas that are specially blended just for kombucha from the experts who know how to do it. I'll leave a link to Farmhouse Teas as well. They have some great blends for first ferment kombucha. Okay, so my lilac blueberry, it's so simple. I use a 1/4 cup of lilac syrup. And I use probably about 2 tablespoons of frozen blueberries. I don't know if you can tell. I do cut them up. You don't have to, but the smaller that you cut your fruit, the more infused your flavor is going to be in your kombucha. I also always use frozen fruit because the same reason. It takes the yeast longer to break it down. It's going to have more infused flavor if you have frozen fruit instead of fresh. You can use fresh, but frozen just gives it more oomph. So I used about 2 tablespoons of cut up frozen blueberries and a 1/4 cup of lilac syrup to make this gorgeous kombucha, one of my favorites. All right, this one is, as you can tell, I've already dug into this one. This one is blueberry ginger. Ginger is a secret that I love to tell people, and it's mentioned in Simple DIY Kombucha because it helps with the carbonation. If you like fizzy kombucha, adding ginger is going to help you towards that end. It also is just so delicious. It's like kind of like drinking ginger ale. Blueberry ginger ale, really good. So again, a couple tablespoons of cut up frozen blueberries, and the ginger, you don't have to peel it. You don't have to grate it, but doing those things is going to increase the potential of your ginger and the ginger flavoring. So like maybe 1/2 inch worth of ginger that I cut off, I peel it and I slice it into tiny little slices and then let it soak. So it probably equals maybe just a teaspoon worth of ginger, maybe even a little less. That's another thing about kombucha. I like just kind of throwing things in and playing around, and you just kind of get used to the feel and the look of how much ingredients you like. So it's not really a set recipe that I go by all the time. I just know what amount really is good. Okay, this one is Roseberry. This is the same rooibos white tea, green tea first ferment. And for my second ferment, I used, where is it? Here it is. Roseberry flavoring from Farmhouse Teas. If you want to create this on your own, then you want to use some dried hibiscus and some dried rose petals and maybe some dried berries of some sort, like dried blueberries or something. Or take the easy way and add anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon, depending on how potent you like the flavor. I use about 1/2 tablespoon in my 1/2 gallon jar of this. Okay. And next up, just make sure to those. Next up, this is the last one that I used, the combination green-white rooibos tea for my first ferment. For my second ferment, and this one I added mojito, strawberry mojito flavoring from Farmhouse Teas. Yummy stuff. One of my favorites that they make. Okay. And then my last two that I have here are my maple kombucha. In Simple DIY Kombucha, I break down for you really easily. It takes about maybe 6 weeks how you can convert your SCOBY that you've always used refined sugar with over to a maple SCOBY. And I have 2, if not 3 SCOBYs going at all times, busy in my kitchen. And one of them is always a maple SCOBY. So this one is made with the maple. Oh my goodness, guys. This one is made with the maple first ferment with my maple SCOBY. And then for my second ferment, this one is, let's see, ginger peach. So frozen peaches, about a 1/4 cup of them, cut up nice and fine. It doesn't have to be too fine. You can probably see there are chunks of peaches in there. And then my fineness I want in my ginger. I try to do my ginger really fine, about a 1/2 tablespoon to a tablespoon of that. Ginger peach maple kombucha is delicious. And finally, this one is, let's see, what's this one? Did I label? I did 2 of them. Look at that. I guess I was really excited about that maple ginger, maple peach ginger. So I did 2 of those just like that. So there you have it. So there is what I made the other night. It is once you get used to the process of making kombucha, trust me, it is so easy and it's so fun. And then in the morning when you wake up to these gorgeous colors lined up, it doesn't get much better. If you want to know more about the process of making this delicious stuff, little tips and tricks to make it perfectly, lots of recipes, and just the lowdown as to why I love drinking this, why it is good for my gut, and why that's important. You will find all of that in Simple DIY Kombucha. I hope you like these recipes. If you try any of them out, please leave a comment. Let me know what variation you use, how much you use of a certain flavor, and which ones you really like. Have a great day, guys.